if we're training with a gi, what other handles do we have? Okay, so we have to see where the gi is connected to the handles that we were talking about, and that'll achieve controlling the rotation that we want. So let's go, let me get side mount on you. So she's lying down. So this idea will help you understand also what people are doing with the gi, right? So sometimes they'll get this, lift up your head. So if I get this and I put it underneath and I start grabbing the collar here, or start getting the gi from behind her, if you'll notice, that's creating tension now on her shoulder, which is one of the handles that we were talking about in controlling rotation. So I know by pulling this up, if she turns into me right now, and I start pulling on this gi, I know that's gonna stop her from rotating towards me. And I know also that if I continue to continue to pull this, and I start going like this, it's gonna rotate her away from me. So I have to understand the reason why this is super important is because sometimes you're taught to just do that and not really understand what's happening to your partner, okay? By understanding the concept or the reason behind why that works, you can now start improvising on how to use this gi, okay? So how else can I use this side of the collar? I know that if I start pulling here, I start understanding that it's creating tension on the side of her rib, that if I continue to pull, she's gonna wanna turn towards me, okay? If that's the case, I know that if she's turning away from me and I use a little bit of that tension and stop her when I need to, I can also use this, right? So this is a good control to have, especially if I'm baiting her to go that way and she's thinking, oh, there's nothing controlling me, I might be able to roll away. But if I have this, I'll be able to stop her when I want. So for example, I'm over here and I make her turn away from me. Right now it feels loose. Come back real quick. It feels loose, so she feels like there's nothing stopping her. If I pull this too soon and I go like this, and I'm trying to bait her to turn away, she's not going to because she's feeling the tension already. She knows she can't turn that way. So one way is to just hold on to that, okay? As she turns away from me, now I create the tension, you see? So go, boom, go turn away. Now I create the tension. But at the same time, I have an opportunity now because the back is exposed to put my chest in. Now she's stuck in the middle. She tries to turn into me, go ahead. My chest is in the way. She tries to turn away from me. I have this grip. Now I have controls, right? Like I can go for the choke, I can go kimura, I can get the back and all of that. So by understanding like which part of the gi I can control and where that connects relative to her body is gonna be super important, right? The same thing with grabbing the sleeve. I know that if this arm needs to get underneath for her to rotate that way, if I control that as she turns away from me, go ahead, now it's gonna be hard. Same thing with pant grip, okay? So now we're understanding why people grab in certain parts. It's all because they're controlling rotation or creating rotation for their benefit. Same thing with the pants, right? If she's turning away from me and I grab the drawstring area and I start pulling that like this, it's gonna make it hard for this hip to go underneath. So watch the rotation real quick. As that goes here, that hip goes here and it's gonna go underneath like this, right? Come back. If I grab onto this drawstring and I put my forearm in front of her hip, that's gonna stop this near side hip from going up and also lift up on this hip. So if I'm doing this, go ahead, turn away from me, it's gonna be super hard. So understanding where the gi is relative to your partner is gonna allow you to be able to see where you can control to control her rotation and to create rotation for your benefit.